What it do, Henry? So it really seems like Valve is back and hard at work with Counter-Strike 2 post Season 3 with brand new content. Where just a few days ago, we saw the animation update introduced to CS2 that changed what feels like anyway CS2 as we know it for the best going forward. Within just the last week, CS2 devs have sent out one update after another, where as of right now, we've seen 4 total in just 1 week, and it's all to fix what the previous update didn't have, and also add on to it. Now, we've seen a total revamp to animations, movement, hitboxes, and overall gameplay improvements. Right now, myself, and I'd say a majority of the CS community, would say that CS2 is the best that it's ever felt, and one of the best spots it's ever been in, well, since its release. But the questions from the community still holds up of where the franchise is headed. Essentially, these most recent updates are what the game has needed, but most importantly, it really seems like the devs have been waiting for this before adding or going any deeper with other contents or features like VAC. Today's video, I want to break down CS2's most recent update and, well, what they actually changed, and discuss where the game is heading in the coming months. But before we go any further, I want to thank SkinsMonkey for sponsoring today's video. Are you bored of your current Counter-Strike loadout and want to trade it out for something different? SkinsMonkey has you covered. As a buying and trading marketplace, SkinsMonkey offers amazing deals and the fastest way to trade out your old skins for something new. By using my code Mando, you can get up to a free $5 by spending $100 or more, as well as you also get a 35% deposit bonus when topping up your balance. With SkinsMonkey's large variety of skins, they also offer daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways. If interested, the link will be at the top of the description down below. Now, firstly, for today's video, I do want to start off with a quick talk about CS2's most recent updates and how they've changed the game, that being for the better and the worse. So right off the bat, it seems like most players, at least on Premiere, when it comes to cheaters, and anti-cheat as of right now is just non-existent. It seems like something was changed or turned off, at least on Valve's ends in terms of VAC, and us the players don't really know why. Now, some players suspect all of this happening based off the most recent animation update, which I know what you're saying, it doesn't really make any sense, but after digging deeper from community comments, the game files, and things that happened after this update, this has and actually could technically interfere with VAC, which then could be a huge reason behind CS2 having more cheaters post-animation update. But as of right now, this is just speculation and my own thoughts. If we do get more intel and evidence based upon this, I will then make a video on it. But I'd love to hear you guys' experience of what's going on and what you think's happening. And now, of course, as it goes for the updates themselves, let's break down the most recent blog released this last Friday. So on August 1st, just a few days ago, Valve released an update that was relatively pretty small, but was again another fix towards the animation update. It had 2 categories, that being for maps and gameplay. In the gameplay category, Valve first added that they fixed a bug that would allow you to inspect your grenade after priming. They also fixed a bug that prevent first-person view model lag. The Molotov again uses the correct fire particle, which a lot of these, you can't really tell if you're, well, just playing the game or sometimes even nitpicking. Looking at some of this stuff behind the scenes and while recording today's video, I couldn't even tell a difference, at least with the firing pin and the incendiary and smoke grenades, while playing the same correct sounds. I'd say the most important thing about this update was, well, in terms of movement and B-hopping. Now, after community feedback, Valve, well, actually listened to the community and not just listened, added it into a blog post, but also responded on social media. We'll get to that after. Valve fixed a bug that would cause a B-hopping penalty to continue to accumulate even when a jump had not been pressed. B-hopping jump span now starts the instant the input is registered, rather than the end of the subtick where the command was processed. And yeah, for those who don't know, B-hopping over the last few updates and just movement overall has felt a lot better. There was a brief moment it was broken, then it was fixed, then it was broken, and now it seems better than ever. B-hopping here in CS2, because we don't have 128 tick, is not perfect and it's not the easiest to hit, but it is now, well, a little bit more possible than it used to be. A lot of players, including myself, will also say that playing on 64 FPS, instead of the max that you're playing, maybe it's over 300, you're gonna hit hops a little bit easier. Now, it doesn't just make it to where it almost feels like it's cheating, but it does help in some areas, in some situations, a little bit more than if you were playing with 300 to 400 FPS. Now, something that's actually been really cool as well is the devs have also stated that B-hopping is part of the game and they want to keep it in there. Now, this is one of those things as well that a lot of players have speculated within the CS space that Valve has been waiting to touch, but they didn't want to tweak or change anything until the animation update dropped, because it's a lot more than animations what you're seeing in the game from your first-person perspective. According to community reports, data mines, and visual footage in-game, well, we can see after these updates that when the player is shot, their head's not going to jiggle and move all over the place. And it's just small things like this that make a huge difference, make the game feel more clean, more crisp, more smooth when you're moving and shooting, and just shooting in general. This guy's getting a big feature today. Now, some other things to note in most recent updates is the C4 disappearing on people's maps. We all know that Valve changed the C4 to have a different text when planning and defusing, but in some recent CS2 tournaments, and a lot of players playing, well, matchmaking, or sometimes even on Faceit, we're running into instances where the bomb being dropped on a map and it's saying it's there, well, isn't actually there. It's somewhere completely different. You go to try pick it up, either it disappears off your screen like a, well, empty magazine on the ground that you drop from a weapon, and after player reports and pros running into this at tournaments, Valve stated stated they tried to test and replicate this, but they couldn't find it. Yet they had a speculative fix for, well, what they thought happened. As of right now, it seems like it's still happening, but not as frequent. But like we mentioned earlier, this is a step in the right direction for Valve's communication. As well as after the most recent updates, ping is, well, feeling a lot more like it did in Go than it now did before in CS2. For a brief explanation of what's been going on, essentially back in Go, if you were playing with anywhere from 50 to 100 ping, it was still playable. Were you always gonna get the first shot? Maybe not. You still had a chance. If you have 50 to 100 ping in CS2, at least before this update, it felt like you were playing on 3+100 back in Go. Now 50 to 100 here in CS2, yeah, it still doesn't feel great, still doesn't feel as on par as it did back in Go, but it feels a lot better now, which, like a lot of this from these most recent updates, is the step in the right direction. A few other couple things to note: animations at this point, yes, sometimes are broken. They don't feel as smooth and as clean as the prior ones did, but that's because Valve still needs time to cook on these. It seems like this update was in the works for a very long time, and it's going to take quite some time to tweak. And some of the most recent updates as well, we can also see that nades were completely changed when dropped on the ground, where they're now larger when dropped, so it's easier to verify and see yourself what's available, what you can and can't pick up. Now, Thor CS, a data miner within the CS space, has great footage of this on Twitter. Links to him will be in the description. This essentially best describes and shows what the difference is, and as you can see, it's pretty large, which has made some players and myself think that Valve did this, yes, for quality of life improvements, but also to make nades bigger for when essentially nade skins will eventually come into CS2. Some other quick details worth mentioning: we've seen some other improvements we didn't really quite notice until now, and that's if weapons don't have any ammo left in the mag or anything in the chamber. This mainly right now only really goes for pistols, but it will appear so as on the ground. So in those very close clutch rounds or tight situations, you have no ammo left in your mag, you don't want to reload to let your position go away, well, just look on the ground for any weapon and you'll be able to see if it has ammo in it, which I think once again is a huge quality of life improvement. Now, what do you guys think? Right now, CS2 is in a very good spot, and some could say it's been the best, well, since it released, and right now it's only going up from here. But now that this is out of the way, Valve can really start hammering, focusing on, well, different content, features, things returning from prior Counter-Strike titles, and that really seems like just the beginning. Let me know what you guys think. Stay positive, sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.